Recording started, right?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome to our Empowering IT Professional call sponsored by Future Career. And we're proudly collaborating with our expert coaches, Mahmoud Abu Nil and Samer Qassas, and I'll let them introduce themselves shortly. We also have a cybersecurity expert, Mr. Dia Abu Chakra, and we'll let him also introduce himself. Within a few minutes. We're excited to have you all here, especially if you're navigating the job market or feeling a bit stuck in your job search. This call is all about helping you enhance your job prospects, share valuable insights, and connect with fellow professionals who have been in your shoes. During this session, you will gain expert tips, practical advice tailored to IT roles in Canada and the US, and valuable networking opportunities to help you advance in your career journey. Remember, this is your chance to ask questions, connect, and walk away with actionable strategies. So let's dive in and give it a quick introduction. Myself, Ahmed Zayed, I'm the founder of Future Career, and I've been, helping people land jobs for the past 7 years, more than 700 landed jobs in US and Canada through working with me and my support. And I'm very happy to, empower everybody and to land jobs in the US and Canada. I'll move it again to our coaches. Maybe Mahmoud and Samer. Mahmoud first, maybe you can introduce yourself, and I'll update the slide and add you, Samer, since you're now joining regularly. Go
Sure.
ahead,
Thank
Mahmoud,
you. Thank
please.
you, Ahmed. Hi, everyone. My name is Mahmoud Abu Nil, or I also known as Coach Mo. I've been in the IT field for almost 25 years plus now. I'm also a 15 years plus trained in emotional intelligence and human interaction. So I marry both the IT job hunt with the emotional intelligence, and to make your journey, your job hunt journey, to be an easy and excitable one.
Thank you, Mahmoud. Samer, if you don't mind.
Thank you, Mr. Ahmed. Really appreciate your invitation to this meeting, and I'm very happy to and pleased to meet such a good talents with us in the meeting today. I am Samer Qassas, and my background is human resources. I'm working in human resources since 18 years, and I'm graduated from UK with a master's degree in human resources and training management, as well as an active member in Human Resources Practitioner Association in Canada and CIBD Associate in UK. I have been working in many countries, over 12 countries, focusing in Canada and Gulf area. I will be happy to help all job seekers and enlighten them with a new evolution of HR industry. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Samer. Do you wanna give a quick intro, please?
Yes, thank you, Ahmed. Good morning and pleasure meeting everyone. Similar to Coach Mo, I've been in the IT and cybersecurity space for about 25 years, 15 of them in the financial sector, but I've also had the privilege of serving my state and city, both local governments, as well as the education sector and the technology sectors. I have a passion for what I do. I enjoy this. It's a lifelong journey for me. Recent founder of Secure One Labs, small startup. We have technology platform as well as performing training, testing, and consultation. Happy to
Thank
be
you.
here.
Thank you, Dia. So again, our call, why join us? This has been helping more than 700 people land jobs in the past few years. This is an open chance for you to network and, grow your networking. So if you don't mind, maybe share your LinkedIn profile in the chat and connect with others who do this. We do resume review for those who are comfortable sharing their resumes and going through those resumes online. And we do job strategies. We do, salary negotiation, also helping you with ChatGPT and interview preparation. Depending on your question, again, we'll route it to, different coaches or experts here. So this call is recorded and will be shared on YouTube and social media. So if you're not comfortable being recorded, please exit now. Our sessions now take place on Sunday and on Wednesday, so I'll share the links for those calls later. So if you have any follow-up question, particular to Samer, Coach Mo, Dia, or myself, please send this through the LinkedIn, connect with them so that you can get your question answered again based on what your question is. They can help you. Okay. So again, briefly introduce yourself when you raise your hand for a question. Just name, role, location, and biggest challenge. Keep your question within 2 minutes, please, because we want to help as many people as possible. And at the end of the call, we'll take a group selfie. We'll post it on LinkedIn, Facebook, and other social media to help promote this call. So our next call is September 22nd. Sorry, this is today, and then Wednesday, October 2nd, and then will be another Sunday afterwards. I think that's it for the introduction. I don't want to bore you with those information. We have also some free resources, but again, those are going to be available for you while we're speaking. Maybe Coach Mo, you have something to share with the group here?
Sure. Yeah. Towards the end, we'll share with the group a gift for them being on the call and giving us from their precious time.
Sounds good. Okay. So let's start with, some of the questions that you guys have, and let's kick this off. And I see people are sharing their LinkedIn profile. That's amazing. So this will again help us, maybe go through your LinkedIn and support you maybe with some adjustments based on your needs. Okay, let's maybe uh, warm up a little bit and see like who's struggling to get interview. If you can show by hand here, who's really struggling to land an interview in today's market. Okay, I see Isra, I see Anuj. Uh, okay, awesome. Do you guys wanna, know why you're not getting interviews? Is this something troubling you? Do you wanna, speak about this together here in the call so that maybe one of you can unmute and we can help him or her based on their status? Would you like this to happen? Okay. Anyone wants to comment and be yeah?
Uh, I'm Anuj. So a bit about myself. I'm a second year MBA student at Georgetown University, Washington, D.C. So
Okay.
I think the biggest challenge for me right now is being an international student. And although I will have a STEM OPT extension for 3 years, but still, this is the biggest concern for me. Like, not many companies right now, given the market situation, are sponsoring international students. So this either straight out reject me in like resume phase, and like in if I land some kind of interviews, they would say that we are not willing to sponsor and all that things.
Awesome. So I guess you're you're still not having enough experience, and also you have the sponsorship constraint as well. That's one of your biggest
Yeah.
challenges today. Okay. Coach Mo or Samer, do you wanna guys take this and discuss it, or should I do this from my end?
Whatever you like. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay, so I'll help you Anush a little bit, and then maybe I'll let Coach Mo and Samer chime in whenever they wanna chime in. So as an international student, and maybe Dia also can help here because he's been, seeing this somewhere in the US. He's from the US too, and that's gonna help a lot. So, whoever is hearing this in the same situation as Anuj, companies today they have the luxury to find people who with talent, with high skills. They have the market is have a lot of competition, and there is so many people got laid off, unfortunately, due to the recession and also due to so many other factors in the market. So the competition is so high today to land a job, but that does not mean that you need to be an expert in your role or in your profession to land a job. I think the main, thing here is, are you foundable on LinkedIn? Are you able to tailor your resume to pass the gates that, the tools have been putting as a barrier for you to get an interview, so we'll speak again from the angle of first getting the interview first, because this is like a big phase that most people, take time to land an interview, and they don't know why they are not landing an interview. So the first step is defining the role, for you. And I'll maybe share here a quick article that I've done previously, uh, or actually, maybe I'll just bring that uh, document here. So when I speak with anyone who's searching for a job, I normally start with, and I'll share my screen now. I think I stopped sharing. Um, so when you're looking for a job, you need first to identify how much money you need out of that role, so that you can be clear about what financials are you looking for. Because if you don't know the financials before you start looking, then unfortunately you could land a job that doesn't pay your bills, which is not good. So you need first to define the financials and then define the role. So defining the role could be challenging for you since you're a new grad and you don't know which role should I focus on. But this is how you need to maybe do some information interviews and, check others who graduated from you the same university or the same field as yours. You can do this through LinkedIn so that you can, learn about what options those guys have been, landing, and see which one of those roles could match you as well, could help you, could excite you with your journey. So once you were able to define that role, if you're just doing the resume, generic, and just, putting everything that you've done in your career, that's not going to help. Nobody will, let's say, read your resume with the intention to find the best thing in you. It's all about, roles and job description. And maybe Tamer can chime in here. He's been filtering resumes a lot and seeing this firsthand. So I'll give him a chance, just let me finish this thought, and then I'll pass it to you, Tamer. So once you know the role, then it's clear in your LinkedIn, it's clear in your resume, the messaging is clear. And then you need to start checking who are the employers who are open to hire my role, or are looking for that role in the market. And you need to focus on those employers and then understand their challenges, industry, understand their, the way of hiring, the way they are getting referrals, maybe if they're getting referrals, and then speak with people who are working with those employers, because those people can give you an inside information about, what is the hiring process, what are the skills that they need, what are the current status of hiring, are they really hiring or are they in freeze, or what exactly are they looking for from you. And then once you do this whole thing, then you will discover that you have some gaps. You have some gaps that you need to start working on, like whether it's certification, whether it's, an experience, how you do those things. Then this is what you need to focus the most in order for you to, fill those gaps and get attention of hiring. I'll let Samer here, chime in, and then maybe Dia can also add his thought. Go ahead, Samer, please.
Thank you, Mr. Ahmed. Anuj, may I ask, please, a question? In which city do you live now, and when is your graduation date?
So I live in Washington, D.C., and my graduation is May 2025.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
I have prior experience. I was working for Reliance, mainly in telecommunication and cloud security space. I worked there for 5 years as project manager, and then I was leading customer services team. So telecommunication is highly regulated space, and they definitely not sponsor in the US. So that's
Mhm.
why one of the challenges. So I'm mostly looking into technology companies right now,
Very, very
something
impressive. Okay.
around.
Let me try to articulate the things from a different angle. Now you are worried about getting a sponsorship after almost 8 months. Your worry now will not change anything. Will just add more stress to your life and to
Mm-hmm.
your achievement of your goal of completing your education. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not a good time to worry now. I want you just to focus on your study. And on the
Mm-hmm.
other thing, every company in the world will hire people not as per knowledge, but as per actual practical experience. Companies are not like schools. They don't accept us without experience. They want us to join and
Mm-hmm.
start performing immediately. So focus on these two things now: your study,
Mm-hmm.
and if as much as you can get working opportunities, a little bit of experience, internship opportunities, volunteering, anything to grab more practical experience from the market, and as well as get positive references. Then by whatever the situation that's happening now, it will not last long, because these countries are built on adopting immigrants, and also is built on absorbing the talents. That's why they invited you at the beginning to study here, because they want you to learn based on the curriculum of the country, and then they
Mm-hmm.
want to invest you in the local market, and their intention. So whatever is happening now in the market is temporary, will not last long. Later they will have to look for talents. So your responsibility is to increase your visibility to recruiters. Recruiters are looking for the talents. The country is very strong and good, and they have a lot of opportunities. And you are very qualified. We just need bridging, the right bridging between these three. And
Mm-hmm.
you increase your visibility by having good resume and good way of applying to the jobs. Update your LinkedIn. All these tools will give you higher visibility, and definitely you are going to be controlling what's happening, because companies are looking for you, but they cannot see you yet. Just don't waste your time at the worry now. Things will
Mm-hmm.
get better, definitely.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. Dia, do you have any follow-up here from your point of view too?
Yes, first of all, I wholeheartedly agree with Samir. I think focusing, Anuj, on yourself and your uh, skills is probably one of the most important things you can do right now. Look at what you will imagine you got the job that you wanted. Just pretend that you got it, right? What do you see yourself doing, right? What is that space in the company, and start working on content for it now. To Samir's point, if I'm hiring, I'm not just looking for skills or experience with a specific tool or a product anymore. I'm looking for aptitude. I'm looking for people who can figure things out, right? Not just follow instructions, right? I'm looking for people who take initiative, right? I'm looking for people who work well in teams, for example, right? So again, the more you can demonstrate these things in your portfolio, so get involved in projects, get involved in your community, you create content, and actually creating content is an excellent way to learn yourself. So if you wanted to learn about AI, if you wanted to learn about something else, start trying to create content and put it out there so that, to Samir's point, when you do come across a recruiter, you catch their eye. It's not a second guess, right? So just position you. All you can do right now. Again, the excellent point about not worrying. It's not going to do any good at all. As a matter of fact, positive mindset. Not just not worrying, but switch it around. You have to have a positive mindset as you approach this. Everywhere you go, every interaction that you have, and work on yourself. And again, you just continue to make bridges, connect with people, look for opportunities, but develop yourself and be out there. That's the most important thing. And best of luck to you.
Thank you, Dia. Thank you, Samir.
Ahmed, I
Yeah,
just want to chime in something
yeah,
here
yeah,
before
please.
we end with Anuj. Anuj, if you can, first of all, share your LinkedIn profile in the chat. And I am from the name, I'm assuming you're from India originally, right?
Yeah, I'm not able to send messages on the chat. I don't know why it says you are not a member of the chat,
Okay. Okay.
but
So let's talk about a couple of things here. You mentioned what I heard, that you sometimes get interviews, and in the interview they tell you we don't sponsor,
yeah.
right? So that means they're not clear before calling you from your resume, they're not clear that you need sponsorship,
Yeah.
right? So that's considered a waste of time for you and for them, right? So you probably want to, it's going to exclude you from a lot of people when you say I do require a sponsorship, but I don't want that to to be frustrating for you, because you don't want to talk to anybody anyways. You don't want to talk to 4 or 5 employers and all of them tell you the same thing and you get frustrated. So from
Yeah.
the very beginning, announce in your resume that you're looking for a sponsorship. At least you only get people who are open to sponsor you, even if they're less, right? There's no point of getting 100 people and the 100 say no. I would rather get 10, but the 10 are open for sponsorship. That's the first thing. The second thing is from now to May is quite a few months. So you want to focus on networking.
Yeah.
Okay. People who are going to sponsor you are likely to be people that know who you are, got to know you personally, but they're not going to sponsor you based on a piece of paper called a resume. There's tons of people out there in the US, right, that are also having resumes. All of them want to get sponsors. So the networking means that reach out to your professor, especially the ones that you're doing good in their classes and you have rapport with them. Ask them to connect you with the local companies in around the Washington area, because these professors, talk to businesses, they get projects and get finance on certain projects that they do, and usually they work these projects in collaboration with companies in the industry,
Yeah.
right? So they will definitely have networks. So from now to then, you want to network as much as you can. You want to present yourself. You want people to say, oh, I spoke to Anuj. I know Anuj. I like him. I think with his qualifications, he's going to be a good addition. The third thing is reach out as part of the networking as well. Reach out to network in 3 companies at least that come into my mind: TCS, Tata Consulting Services, right? Infosys and Wipro. These are 3 huge companies with huge footprint in the US. They have a lot of tons of operations in the US. They actually sponsor people, and you already know they get people on H-1B visa from all the way from India. So it's going to be easy for them to connect with you and hire you from here. They don't have to go all the way there to solicit people, right?
Yeah.
So try to connect, and then also try to search and make a list and ask around who are the companies that typically sponsor international
Yeah.
students. Make a list of 20 companies or something like that and start to approach them, see where the hiring managers are, where do they hang out. If you can find the prospect hiring managers for your role in LinkedIn and add them to connect in LinkedIn, send them a nice blurb, and ask them for a 10-15 minutes conversation. Don't necessarily state that you're looking for a job, but speak to them as experts in their field, because you're graduating and you want to work in the same field, so they can give you a tip or two, and then build the relationship from there. Hopefully somebody will come back to you and say, hey, so what do you do? And I was, "And I'm graduating and I'm entering the job market here." And I was like, why don't you come work for us? We have an opening, right? So
Yeah.
get out of behind the scenes, right? Like get off from the online. It's very convenient to just submit, but get out of there and just get in with people, connect with
Uh-huh.
people, have relationships, and hopefully one will be saying, oh, we like you, like, why don't you come apply for us? Okay. And they
Yeah.
will support you through it if it comes this way,
Yeah.
because they want you to apply and they want you to succeed. They will be supporting you through the process.
Yeah. I thank you all. These were like really great insights.
Yeah,
Really happy. Thank
no
you.
worries. Anush, can you check if you can access the chat now? And anyone else who have problems with the chat, can you tell me? Because I made you all as attendees, so maybe that's what was not working. So check and let me know if anyone else. Can you access chat now?
No.
No? Maybe you need to log out and log in again if you're not accessing the chat.
Could be.
But okay, I'll see how technology can be fixed for the next session. Okay, awesome. Any follow-up, again, based on what has been shared, from anyone or Anuj, if you're in the same situation, please go ahead. Yeah, Faris, please go ahead.
Hi. So I'm Faris. I was a former CS graduate. I was currently taking a job in the industry. My question isn't about sponsorship, but more so about visa. I've
Faris, I'm
been a,
sorry, your voice is a little bit. I'm not sure if I'm the only one hearing
Yeah.
you on
oh,
the lower side. Can you increase the volume of your microphone, and if you could please do the intro one more time? I'm sorry for that.
okay. What about now? It might be just my laptop that's causing the issue. Is it? Does it sound better now?
I think, yeah, it is. Yeah, if you can do the intro over again, please.
Sure. My name is Faris. I'm a graduate of computer science from Toronto Metropolitan, and I've been actively seeking a job in the technology sector. And my question is about visa. So I've mainly been applying for jobs within Canada, although I've heard from some people that they've been getting jobs from the US from Canada. And I was doing some research and it turns out I need that there's some sort of visa needed for that. So
Yeah.
how would I be able to, I'm sorry, I would like more
Yeah.
information regarding that.
Yeah, no, I guess again, we don't really give any visa information here. We're just giving, career development support. Visa, normally is a little bit tricky, and we definitely don't want to, you know, um, misguide you here in this call. But again, I think I see Samer is raising his hand. So Samer, if you have any insights, please go ahead. Otherwise, we can help
Yeah.
you somewhere else.
Thank you very much, Faris, for the great introduction. I really wish you all the best. I have an advice for you. Definitely, as Mr. Ahmed, we don't get involved in visa and other things. It's an immigration consultant job. In matter of career development, so I would like to advise you to really, after we end the session, to listen to the recording again, and I am sure that you will not be satisfied how your voice was presented. It's time now to change our investment. Today, most of the meetings that we are doing is online. Interviews are online, and I'm telling my clients sometimes a joke that in the past we were wearing a full suit to go for an interview. Today we are wearing our pajama underneath, only a jacket on the top. So instead of buying the trouser, get yourself a camera and good microphone, because in the interview nobody will tell you that your voice is not clear, because they don't want to stress you out in the interview, and this is the nature of the HR. They will just try to listen to you, and wherever they can capture from your words, and then they will record your evidences and score based on that. Your voice was not clear, and definitely investing in a good camera, good microphone will definitely increase your visibility. I really wish you all the best.
Thank you for the advice. I'll definitely invest in a good setup for that. Thank you.
Yeah,
So,
no,
Faris, you're an international student in Canada. That's what I got?
No, I'm a citizen of Canada.
Okay. So, where
Yeah,
was the sponsorship, that the question that you had about US work in the US, or?
because from what I researched, for a Canadian to work in the United States, you need to obtain a visa. I believe it's a TN visa. That's
Yes,
what it's
yes,
called.
yes. I processed multiple TN visas myself to work in the US. So, what's the question specifically on that? You want to
It's
check
for,
if you open to the job market, or I start applying for jobs in the US as well?
yes, would it be worthwhile for me to give it a shot compared to just sticking to Canadian jobs?
Absolutely, because the scope all of a sudden increases from the Canadian market. One of the things I'm going to say on this call, I don't know how long have you been in Canada, but people don't notice that Canadian market is only 1/10 of the American market. The American market is huge, right? So when you say I want to apply for do I take my chances applying in the US? Absolutely yes, because you all of a sudden add tenfolds to the market that you're currently in, right? And you're saying you're studying or you've completed
I graduated last spring.
last spring. Okay. And then from last spring until now, you're in the market looking for a job.
Yes, I've been exclusively looking at the Canadian market.
Okay. Okay. Now, Have you put on you put your hand on why has it not been working in the Canadian market? Is it because when you apply you look for jobs, you don't find the amount of jobs that is enough, or you find enough in the Canadian market, but when you apply, you don't get response? Because I just want to put my hand on does the resume and LinkedIn need to be worked on? Because if that's the case, whether you open to the US or not, you're going to get similar response. So it's not about of volume. It's about of how are you going to the market? So have you figured out for yourself what's not working about you applying in the Canadian market?
I've been able to, the availability seems to be fine. I've been applying for jobs consistently, though it seems that the feedback has not been, I guess, good. I've only received one interview, and unfortunately, I did not pass that one. And since then, success has been limited.
Okay, one interview in how many applications since you started till today? 20, 100, 200? How many applications? Job applications?
200.
200?
Yeah, so I believe it's something with my resume, be it the formatting or because I've only had co-op experience.
Okay, that's why I asked you, because when you say 200 and only one interview, it becomes a no-brainer than that it's the resume or the LinkedIn or the combination of both, because a lot of people would have a good resume and then I noticed that the LinkedIn profile conflicts with the resume, for example, for any reason, and then most employers now and recruiters are going to LinkedIn. So even if your resume is great and then it's not supported by the LinkedIn or vice versa, you're still disqualified, or your resume or profile is put to the side. So definitely start there. But if you need help with the job market in the US, as I said earlier, I processed probably until now like 5 TN visas. And if you're working 100% remote, that people don't know, and recruiters also don't know, you don't need a TN visa if you're gonna work remotely from Canada. Right? Especially if you have a corporation or something like that and you're going to work as a contractor, right? And then they'll pay your corporation. So you don't need a TN visa. You only need a TN visa if you are going to put foot on US soil.
Yeah. Even if they need to work remotely in the US, they need a TN visa, unfortunately. So
yeah, if within the borders of the US, you're going to cross into the US, even remotely inside, as long as you're sitting in the US, you'll need a TN visa.
no, even if they don't sit in the US, I mean, even if they need to work remotely, but in the US, they need a visa because it's all about taxation. When they pay them in the US dollar from the US, they need a TN1 visa. But anyway, again, we definitely don't want to go into visa
Yeah,
issues
but
here.
I'm working in the US now on a US contract remote, and I don't have a TN visa.
But maybe you have a branch here and you're
No,
paid.
it depends. Yeah, it depends on the agreement. Like if it's a corp to corp, not a payroll, maybe you're talking about payroll. Because
Yeah,
payroll means
payroll, yeah.
a social security number and all this stuff, right?
Yeah,
But if you're working corp to corp, you don't need one. And the
yeah.
recruiters will tell you, oh, you need one. You don't, right? Because
Okay,
they just don't know the legal aspect of it.
that's good. That's good to know. Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. Faris, again, we'd like to help you. So if there's any follow-up questions, please go ahead. Otherwise, we can move to the next person.
I'm done. We can move on.
Okay. Do you have any insights? Anything you want to add here to what just been mentioned?
No, I'm learning from everybody here. It's I didn't have to figure out the whole remote work there, but I can tell you, it's fairly flexible, especially between the United States and America in terms of visas, even if you needed something. But I think it's more so right now. The United States is moving towards similar to Canada. Actually, my understanding, if you open a job for somebody on the outside, you have to justify and you have to show that you've posted it and couldn't find somebody, and now that you're going outside, right? It's not just free for all. You actually have to show that you tried to hire somebody locally and you couldn't find it. So also there's that, but these are far and few opportunities. But like Coach Mo said, remote work, business to business corp, I think makes more sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and also that does not. I get your point there, but that does not apply to Canadian and Mexican specifically, right? Because of the NAFTA agreement and what's now
Right.
been the U.S., Mexico, Canada. Uh, we had protections as Canadian from the open market and the agreement of the movement of labor between the country. In Canada, we get even better and preferential like relationships and situation other than the Mexicans as well. Uh, but again, yes. And now I don't know if anybody. I don't want to be specific on TN visa, but TN visa, just to continue on that conversation, you take it at the port of entry. It's not a visa that you would apply for in the U.S. embassy or something. So once you have a contract and you want to get in, you get it. If you're going through flying into the U.S., you get it from the airport that you're flying from. If you're going with a car, you get it at the point of entry, right? And the officers do actually challenge a bit, sort of like what they are saying is like, why do they get to hire you? They'll ask you like, why you, right? And all you have to do is just be confident and stand your ground. They have no legal issue to deny you entry.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So let's maybe see if someone else wanna share their questions. Again, you can always raise your hand and ask questions. If not, maybe I'll ask you who is in the phase of um, getting interviews but not passing the interview or not getting an offer letter. If you have that case or that phase, please raise your hand. And if you wanna come and discuss and help you with your journey, please go ahead. No one? So everybody's still stuck with the
Mr.
interview.
Ahmed,
Yes.
do I have, can I add something? I have
Yeah.
a little advice for Mr. Faris. And I'm sorry, I'm going to throw Mr. Mahmoud, Coach Mo, under the bus now.
It's
So
okay.
I'm going to point on you. Mr. Faris, why don't you, and sorry if I'm volunteering your time, Mr. Mahmoud, why don't you share your resume with Mr. Mo? Mr. Mo is an expert with the American market, and he will give you a feedback. If it's going well, then he will encourage you to continue applying. And if he find any gaps, then he will be able to advise you further. That's very important because I am gonna emphasize now, resume writing is a big specialty and it has a lot of aspects to maintain in it. And your specialty is different. You might think that it's an easy thing, but really there's a lot of different aspects that affecting your resume to be captured by ATS systems, to be seen by screeners, and later to be scored high by the HR people to invite you for the interview. Uh, I'm sorry if Coach Mo, but like I know that Coach Mo is helping a lot of people, and probably
No,
he
you're
can
spot
spare some
on,
more time.
Samir, because Ahmed also knows me. When I come to this call, the last thing I want to do is give generic advice to people. I don't like generic advice whatsoever. I like to see. So if you have an issue with your resume, I like to see your LinkedIn profile. I like to see your resume. If you're not getting a response back, I don't want to just give you canned high level responses to that. So Faris, if you want to send me with a link via LinkedIn your I don't know if you shared your profile yet, but if you want to send me a copy of your resume, I'll definitely uh, give you a feedback on that. Now on to Samir's point, and I've made a post in this on this. Most of the time, not most, well, yeah, let's keep it at most of the time. The When I see resumes, it just represents the uh, the job seekers, the maximum of 40 to 50% of who they really are. So can you imagine, like 50% of the story is lost, and then we sit there and complain that we don't get responses, right? So it's very important um, to have somebody look at your resume with you, at least a different pair of eyes. Everybody inside of our skin, we think we're communicative, we think we're perfect, we think everything is working fine, but then the numbers don't lie, and they usually tell a story.
100%. Thank you. Okay, awesome. I guess I don't see raise of hands, but maybe Ali, if you don't mind, you wanna get help here. I'll pick you to ask more questions about where you are in your journey, and maybe we can help you with what you're facing.
Yeah, my name is Ali. I'm a communication engineer, having experience in support in the service operations and having experience in the service transition as a project coordinator. Lately, I've been laid off and recently being certified as a PMP last week and trying to get to the market of the project management roles. That's been very difficult. I apply a lot, but it's not moving anywhere.
Okay, I'll let Coach Mo take this first, and then Samer, you can follow up, please. Go ahead, Coach Mo.
Okay, so back to statistics, Ali. Like, tell me how long have you been searching? How many applications out there? What's the response of the applications?
Uh, I've been applying since last April.
Okay,
Uh, I mean, like applying like maybe more than 400 application, but I'm getting like 9 interviews. That's it from the 400.
okay. 9 interviews from the 400. And how did this nine go? Like between like HR, did you qualify from the HR to a hiring manager?
Yeah, but that was all like 70% of the roles are technical, which I don't want actually. My passion is for the project management.
Okay.
Yeah,
So they were coming back on whatever your technical expertise was on on that
exactly,
resume
exactly.
and
And one of them told me that you need to get certified to the PMP, which I did. I get certified for a PMP, but
okay. Okay. Ahmed, can you scroll a
during,
little bit
during
down on Ali's profile? Okay, the last thing is a senior product
I can
owner.
send you my resume on LinkedIn if you want. It has more details
Sure.
if you.
Sure. I think yeah, I mean like when I look at the profile as is,
Mhm.
um the titles and all the stuff, it doesn't support a
True.
project manager role.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
so maybe just some of the titles or something needs adjustment. Uh let's go to the about section. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna be a combination between the resume and the LinkedIn profile. Now, what do you think you can support in terms of if you're considering us like like a crowd or a panel that you want to convince that you would be strong with project management? What do you have from your background that would support that, other than the degree?
Yeah, I've worked as a project coordinator and back, but that was not in Canada. It was back on Egypt when I worked there. It was 7 years ago.
Mhm.
And I mean, I have my referrals there. I would say that I was very successful doing my job there, and I liked it. But it's been tough to here when I moved here in Canada to get this type of roles and domain here. It's
Okay.
I
And
only get
what's your core expertise, other like functional or technical expertise? Telecom,
yeah, networking, yeah, networking and telecom, yeah,
network and
yeah,
telecom.
yeah.
Yeah. And have you been positioning yourself as a something around the project management in the telecom area, or you're going outside of that and applying?
I'm applying more to the project management roles now.
But in that industry, in that vertical, or all
Yeah,
across?
No, no, all across Canada. Yeah.
No, I mean like all across industries or that vertical
Oh
of
no, no, no.
networking and telecom.
Any no, all industries. Yeah, doesn't matter.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, I even apply. I mean, I mean, to the civil industries, but I see myself like 40% or 50% could be. I'm a fast learner and easy to learn things on the go, but it's been like they need the civil engineers more. That so, but I thought that if I have the mindset of the project management and capabilities, uh, that wouldn't matter, right?
Well, my guess now, as you're sharing, it's a matter of quality versus quantity. So
Yeah.
you need to strategically uh, search for what you need, but you need to narrow down your compass and you need to focus on a particular niche where you are going to be able to present yourself strongly. Now, when you get a couple of jobs as a project manager after, then feel free to venture into other industry. But a project manager or a manager in general, we always say that managers in general and project management manager included is a combination between management, education, and experience. Okay. So now, so that when you apply for a place and you want to work as a project manager, to uh, to strengthen your application, you need to put in that technical expertise. So if you would apply now as a project manager for a civil engineering projects, you wouldn't have that technical expertise. So the best area to be close to is the area of telecom and networking. Now, unfortunate or fortunate for you, there's 4 or 5 companies in telecom in Canada, right?
Uh, right. I just send you my resume on LinkedIn messaging, so we can have a.
Okay, I'll take a look. I'll take a look at both with along with the and it's very it could be useful also if you give me as well 2 sample jobs of the ones that you have applied, if you have any job description for something that you applied for, especially the ones that worked, like the ones where you got interview. But I think your LinkedIn profile as is now will always draw people to you on the technical side of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Samer, do you have any follow-ups before we move to Amber's question?
Thank you very much, Coach Mo. I think Coach Mo have covered everything from the perspective of technicality, project management, and that's amazing. If I can add only one thing from the side of HR, and from the side of HR, when I was looking at your LinkedIn, there should be a more need to work on more harmonized branding, and that's very important to for the person who's looking at your LinkedIn. There's a variation of titles, and titles is not what the company has given you, but what you are actually doing. You might
Mhm.
be called a project coordinator sometimes, but your management gave you a lot of projects and you been the project manager, then you call yourself as a project manager later. And if you go to a shopping mall and first mobile shop on the right side, you meet a person, his name is sales and marketing director, and he is only selling mobiles over there. Yeah, so title which was given by the company is not the final, but you should name yourself with something that create a good branding. The second point, and it's very, very important, especially that I am an HR sitting among all these technical people with a lot of knowledge of IT, which I have no much knowledge about IT. So I will tell you, today, nowadays, there is a system that is evaluating your resume. And HR is not really looking at most of the application. There's 9,000 applications coming to the company, where an ATS system is going to filter and send to HR only 50. If you are one of the 50 who's reaching HR, then yes, we need to talk the language of HR. But before that, resume should be talking the language of the system to make sure that it's understandable by the system and then it's getting filtered to the HR. And in this matter, definitely refer to an expert who can look at your resume and justify the keyword, the optimization, and other things to increase your chances to getting filtered into the shortlist. Thank you.
Thank you, Samer. Okay, I'll move to Amr's question. Ali, if you have any follow-up, please go ahead before I move to Amr. Otherwise, Amr, go ahead.
No, I agree. I mean, as changing my career skin is very tough. That's why I'm in this schools, and this is challenging. Thanks to all of you.
Thanks, Ali. Okay, Amr, please go ahead again. Name, role, location, and your question, please.
Yeah, thank you, Ahmed. Of course, present myself to have your advice, but I want to also to comment to Ali because I worked before as a project manager in telecom, and I have some comments to Ali if he is okay about
Sure.
it.
I
Yeah,
agree.
please.
So yeah, so my name is Amr Darwish. Um, I worked before in Egypt and then in Saudi for 7 years, and then here in Canada. I'm here for 5 years. Just got the Canadian citizenship a few weeks ago, and then during those 5 years, the COVID comes, and then I work with after the COVID. I work with Rogers for 1 year and a half as a project manager in core network in the telecom side. I have some health issues. I asked them for like a break, but as a contractor, it's a little bit tough. So, and then the contract ends, and I tried during the last few months, few 1 year and a half to find something, but then I'm now willing to move back to the technical side and leave the project management a little bit. So I took a cybersecurity boot camp for 3 months with a diploma degree, and I'm now searching for cybersecurity. To get into a more demand area with technical mindset, which I think it might be the best for me now. Yeah. So before going into my stuff, I would like just to give Ali some comment according to my experience and what I have seen. I just want to comment on his sentence that if the mindset of the project manager is there, could I work as like a civil project manager or something like that? And according to what I have seen, this is not possible because they just need uh, you know uh, if you are purchasing me two laptops, one that will theoretically make the game works, and one is dedicated as a game laptop. The companies are targeting those who are the laptops are labeled games laptop. If you're trying to convince me for whatever the time is that this other laptop having much more capabilities that will handle the game and much more, th- at the end the title or the label on this laptop is not game laptop, so I'm not convinced. So um, the, according to what I've seen, that if you work in telecom, then stick to the telecom, and they won't want to put in the job. And the first day, he will produce what he's aimed to do. Um, uh, of Maybe that contradicts what I'm doing right now of switching, but I'm I'm full of project management. I don't want to go back again. It it has a lot
So,
of
so Amr, how can we help you now? Like what you need as help for yourself now, if we focus on you now,
yeah.
because we have Dia is a cybersecurity professional here, and maybe he can give you some wisdom
Yeah, and
for
then
the.
and if I may chime in, I think what we might want to distinguish between the hard skills and the soft skills. Your example about the laptop is hardware. That is inherent capabilities, right? That is not the same as talking about soft skills. So in project management, actually, to your point, in cybersecurity, that would be the same as saying if I worked in cybersecurity in healthcare, I can't work in banking. That's not true at all. So in cybersecurity is agnostic, right? Project management skills are agnostic. You can apply them to any industry. What you're talking about is building the subject domain in that industry. Yes, that definitely takes time and increases your value as a professional, but it's not a prerequisite. So if you learn cybersecurity, which is actually a great time for you to come into it. I know we only have a few minutes left, so feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. I'll be happy to carry that conversation. But it's something that you can apply in almost any industry. And I would say if you're having a hard time getting into it right away, Amr, you might want to look for other jobs in the company that can get you there. So get your foot in the door. Help desk is a great place to start, by the way, for people just starting into cybersecurity. A lot of jobs within IT in general, anything really related to IT can get you there. But also jobs related to project management, jobs related to audit, to compliance. There's many ways that can get you into the cybersecurity job. So it might not be, just keep in mind, the first one or two jobs might not be exactly what you want, but if you have a plan and you're working towards it, chances are you'll get there eventually.
Yeah, thank you, Dion. Yeah.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. And if you allow me, trying to answer Ahmed's question, and the question to you, Dia, or whom there, about the experience in cybersecurity. So now I have the knowledge, but I think they are expecting me to show that I have a certain experience in doing something relating to cybersecurity. So is there a way to get this? Uh, and how to do it, because each and every entry will ask about where's your experience in cybersecurity as a job.
Well, and that's a very broad question because it depends on what kind of experience. Are you talking about, for example, application security? Are you talking about software development? Are you talking about security operations? There is many areas. Can you be more specific? Like what exactly in cybersecurity are you trying to get into? And then asking for example.
Yeah, like targeting an entry job level of a cybersecurity analyst, like a blue team, of trying to get into incident response.
Okay. Very technical space. Okay, so yeah, have you looked at certifications in that space yet?
I'm working on CompTIA Security Plus.
Okay. Look at offensive security, OSCP. That is one that is most respected in that space, and it's very much acknowledged by almost any employer. If you have an OSCP, that puts you at a different level than the CompTIA.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. So we'll just take the selfie, Amr, and maybe we'll stick around for a few minutes.
Ahmed, before we take the selfie, just let's tell them the.
Yeah. Sorry, you're right. Yes.
Okay.
Please.
So as you've witnessed in this call, like a lot of insights and many insights like that, like this, I have a Udemy course online that covers. It's a 1-hour crash course. I call it the crash course that covers all aspects of the job hunt and can be used as a benchmark according to what you're doing now. So I am putting that on the chat for the participants are here. It's $38 only on Udemy, but I'm giving it for $25 for the participants here with a 30% plus discount. You can use this course to check where you're at with your job hunt now, see if you have any gaps and try to close these gaps accordingly. And then if you need any additional help, we're all here to take it from there. So I'm gonna put it on the chat.
Awesome. Thank you, Mo. Okay, and if you guys are ready to be a celebrity for this picture, please go ahead and join the camera. We'll take a group selfie, and then maybe we'll, give a few minutes for any follow-up question by Amr or someone else, and then we'll leave it there for the Sunday. So I'll say 1, 2, 3, and smile. Okay, so when you're ready, so 1, 2, 3, and smile. Awesome. Thank you so much, everybody who joined and asked questions. Thanks to our coaches, Samer, Coach Mo, Dia, You've been amazing, and I really loved the collaboration. So we'll stick around, maybe have your follow-up, Amr, for a few minutes, and then we'll leave it there for the rest of the day. Dia, if you want to drop, go ahead. I know that maybe you're busy, so whoever wants to drop, feel free.
Yeah, but definitely connect with me on LinkedIn afterwards. I'll be happy to help. Thank you. Have a great
Thank you.
weekend.
Take
Okay.
care. Okay, go ahead, Amr, if you have a follow-up.
Yeah. I will, of course, I will try to connect with Dia. Yeah, and maybe my main focus is about getting an entry level experience in cybersecurity.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that may be the challenging part here.
Yeah, I would advise you, Amr, to try Hack Me website. This gives a lot of hands-on for cybersecurity specifically, and the more you put into it, the more hands-on you will have, and if you can keep adding those to your resume so that you can at least show to the employer that you've done things like this as a freelancer or a self-employed or a contractor. You can do this in your home within your network. You can just play with your network, hack it or whatever, do some monitoring or offensive security, whatever that is. You can keep adding those things in your resume. And again, this applies to everybody here in the call. For example, Lead Code is another good website for software developers that you can get a daily coding problems that can help you with your let's say journey. So let's see here, maybe questions. So you can either, let's say, for example, use JavaScript, you can do Python, you can do SQL, you can do crash course, interview crash course. So there is so many things here that you can learn while you're sitting at home in the software development space. And another website that I also, you know, suggest you to check is Creo Projects. And again, this is mostly for software development. You can get a Java project, and if you do that Java project, you can either learn this and download the project and start building things while you're at home. Those things can help you a lot. And again, this applies to everybody who's listening to this now. Does that help? And Try Hack Me is just one aspect of it. There is, I think, Bleeping Computer. It's a very good website for articles related to cybersecurity, and it's a story like company X has been hacked. What happened? How did they get back from the ransomware or whatever? And so you can just read those articles. It will give you a lot of insights about cybersecurity and put your foot in the door.
Thank you.
No problem. No problem.
Then Amr, you just need to go hack 10 companies and then tell them that's why you should hire me.
Yeah.
Tell them, you see
Okay.
how you're vulnerable? Now you need somebody to hire somebody to close all these vulnerabilities.
Exactly. Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. Sorry, go ahead, Amr.
Yeah, just comment on Mahmoud comment. There's something called the bug bounty program where companies are allowing cybersecurity students or even professionals to go in and try and then they get some bounties. It's
Yes.
exactly
Yeah.
almost what you're saying. Yeah.
I just finished a course on something similar as part of being a contractor at Cisco, and they were talking about the groups that similar to that program that you're talking about. Even Cisco has one. Yeah.
Yeah, and one more thing that maybe people don't know, and I think this is also in the US as well. So Canada is putting a lot of initiatives on upskilling on so many programs specifically to software and technical skills. So I would highly recommend that you check Innovation Science Economic Development Canada, ISEDC, because they fund a lot of those programs through maybe companies like I can't remember the name of the company now, but I'm sure there is a list of the companies here somewhere that you can take courses for free or maybe with a less fee through those funding opportunities that is funded by the government. And I'm sure there's something like this in the US too. Microsoft, they do a lot of similar courses to their certifications. So if you, let's say, here certifications, I think the courses are free. The exam is just for money, and AWS is doing the same. Google is doing the same. So, benefit those free resources, but definitely check your path before you invest your time and energy in any of those certifications. Because if you invest in the wrong path, unfortunately, you're wasting time, and time is your biggest asset right now. Okay. Thank you so much, Coach Mo. Thank you, Samer. This has been amazing. If you have any final words, please go ahead. Otherwise, we'll give back the Sunday to everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Ahmed.
Thank you, Samer. Thank you, Samer. Thanks, everybody. Have a good day, and we'll see you again.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Take care. Bye.